Lily Mason sat on her porch watching the sunset over the Arizona desert. She had lived in this small town all her life, never expecting anything extraordinary to happen. The sky turned from orange to purple as the last rays of sunlight disappeared. Behind the mountains, her simple ranch house stood alone, surrounded by cacti and dry earth with no neighbors for miles. She thought about her husband Nathan, who had vanished 3 years ago during a routine military mission. The official report said his helicopter crashed in a remote area with no survivors, but Lily never believed it. She felt in her heart that Nathan was still alive somewhere. She kept their home exactly as he left it. His clothes in the closet, his favorite mug on the kitchen shelf as darkness fell. Strange lights appeared in the night sky, unlike anything Lily had ever seen. They moved in patterns too precise for aircraft, too intelligent for shooting stars. The lights grew closer, hovering above her property, swirling in, blue and silver spirals. Lily stood frozen, unable to move as a beam of light shot down from the center of the formation, striking the ground in front of her porch. The earth trembled beneath her feet. The air hummed with energy that made her skin tingle and her hair stand on end. When the light faded, a figure stood in her yard, tall and slender, with skin that shimmered like mother of pearl in the moonlight. The being was clearly female, with elegant features, large almond-shaped eyes, and 4 graceful arms. Her height, nearly 7 feet, made Lily feel small and vulnerable. "Hello." Lily Mason, the alien woman, spoke, her voice melodious inside Lily's mind without passing through her ears. "My name is Nyala. I come from the stars with news of Nathan." Lily gasped, clutching the porch railing for support. "Nathan, my Nathan." "He lives." Nyala nodded, her movements fluid and precise. "Yes, he saved many of my people when our worlds first met. His actions prevented war between our civilizations. He has become important to us, to the galaxy." Lily found herself inviting the alien woman inside her home, still shocked but desperate for information about her husband. Nyala ducked through the doorway, her 4 arms held close to her body as she examined the simple human, dwelling with curious eyes. "He speaks of you often," Nyala said, stopping before the wedding photo on the mantel. "He carries your image with him always, the promise you made to each other, what you call marriage vows. They are sacred to him, even across." The stars. Tears filled Lily's eyes as she sank into her armchair. Why hasn't he come home? Why no message, no sign he was alive? Nyala knelt beside her with unexpected grace for such a tall being. "The Galactic Council forbids direct contact with Earth. Your species is not yet ready for full knowledge of the universe. Nathan has fought this policy, but must obey for the greater good. He risked everything sending me to find you." From one of her 4 hands, Nyala produced a small crystal that glowed with inner light. "This contains his message, his voice, his face. It will show you everything." With trembling fingers, Lily accepted the crystal. The moment she touched it, the room around her seemed to dissolve. Nathan appeared before her, as real as if he stood there. His familiar face now lined with new scars, his eyes filled with the weight of experiences she could not imagine. "Lily, my love." His voice surrounded her. "I live. I think of you every day. The work I do here will change human history someday, preparing Earth for its place among the stars. I cannot come home yet, but I have never forgotten my promise to you." The vision continued, showing glimpses of an enormous spacecraft, alien landscapes, and creatures beyond imagination. Nathan working as a diplomat between species, creating peace, understanding. She saw him respected, honored, needed. When the vision faded, Lily found herself crying. Nyala waited patiently, her black eyes reflecting. "Starlight, Nathan has requested permission to bring you to him," Nyala explained. "The council debates this now. I came without their knowledge, risking much. You would be the first human woman to join our society since first contact. The journey is one way. The choice is yours." Lily looked around her home, filled with memories and waiting. A life suspended in time since Nathan disappeared. What would this mean? She asked, her voice steadier now. "You would leave Earth forever," Nyala answered honestly. "You would see wonders beyond human imagination. You would Help Nathan build bridges between worlds. Your children would be citizens of the galaxy, pioneers of a new era for humanity. Lily thought of her empty life here, the pitying glances from townspeople, the hollow holidays, the silent nights. She thought of Nathan somewhere among the stars keeping his vows across impossible distances. "When do we leave?" she asked. Nyala smiled, a surprisingly human expression on her alien face. 3 days. You must prepare quietly, tell no one, take only what matters most. The authorities would stop us if they knew, as Nyala left, promising to return. Lily stood in her doorway watching the alien woman dissolve into light and ascend to the waiting ship above. 3 days to say goodbye to Earth. 3 days to prepare for a journey beyond imagination. She looked up at the stars, seeing them not as distant lights but as potential homes. Nathan was there waiting. And soon, she would join him, keeping the promise they made to each other on their wedding day. For better or worse, wherever life might lead them, even to the stars. The 3 days passed in a blur as Lily prepared for her journey to the stars. She packed only essentials: photographs of her parents who had passed years ago, her wedding ring, a small book of poetry Nathan had given her on their first anniversary, and a handful of treasured memories from Earth. On the final night, Nyala appeared in Lily's bedroom. Without warning, her pearlescent skin glowing softly in the darkness. "We must leave now." She communicated directly into Lily's mind. "Our sensors detect government vehicles approaching. They know something is happening here." Heart racing. Lily grabbed her small bag already packed and waiting. How could they know? Nyala moved gracefully to the window, looking out at the desert night. They monitor the skies, more carefully since first contact. "Your military has detected our ship despite our cloaking technology. We must hurry." Lily took one last look around her bedroom, the place where she had slept alone for 3 years, dreaming of Nathan. She followed Nyala outside under a sky brilliant with stars, more stars than she had ever seen. As if the universe itself had opened wider to welcome her. A beam of light enveloped them both, and Lily felt her body become weightless. The ground fell away, her small house shrinking below until it was just a tiny speck in the vast desert. Then even that disappeared as clouds rushed past. They accelerated upward, the blue atmosphere thinning around them, until suddenly they were in space. The ship was massive beyond anything Lily could have imagined. A city floating among the stars with structures of impossible geometry and materials that seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal, yet remained solid. Its outer hull shimmered with the same pearlescent quality as Nyala's skin. They passed through an opening that appeared and sealed behind them. Lily found herself in a vast chamber filled with beings of various forms and colors. Some resembled Nyala, with 4 arms and tall, slender bodies. Others were entirely different shapes, sizes, configurations beyond human imagination. All turned to stare at the human woman in their midst. "Welcome, Lily Mason of Earth," a voice spoke in her mind. "This is the Star Weaver, our home, and now yours too." A figure stepped forward. From the gathered aliens, a human figure, Nathan. He looked different, older, with a scar running along his jawline and strange metallic implants visible at his temples. His eyes, though, those were the same eyes that had once looked at her with love on their wedding day. Eyes that now filled with tears as he saw her, Lily. He whispered this time with his actual voice, not telepathy. "You came." She ran to him, forgetting the audience of alien beings, forgetting the strangeness of her surroundings, forgetting everything except the husband she had thought lost forever. They embraced, his arms strong and real around her. "I never stopped believing you were alive," she said against his chest. "I never gave up." Nathan held her tight. "I tried to send messages, but they were intercepted. They told me it was better to let you think I was dead, better for everyone. That Earth wasn't ready. I fought them for years, Lily." Until finally, Nyala agreed to help. Nyala stepped forward, her 4 hands moving in complex patterns. That seemed to be a form of expression. "Among my people, the bond of life mates is sacred," she explained. "To separate those who have joined souls is considered the greatest cruelty. When Nathan showed me your human marriage ceremony, I recognized the same commitment. I could not allow such a bond to remain broken." Lily looked around at the gathered aliens. Were they in danger? Had Nyala broken important rules bringing her here? Nathan sensed her concern. The council has granted amnesty, he explained. They recognize our pair bond, as they call it. But there's a condition: you must serve as I do as a cultural ambassador, helping them understand humanity. Lily nodded slowly, trying to absorb everything. What would that mean? It means you'll work with me, Nathan smiled. Training sessions, learning their technologies, their biology, their customs. It means you'll help shape how they see Earth and humans. It means you'll help prepare for the day when they reveal themselves to all of humanity. Before Lily could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. Flashing lights bathed the chamber in red. Nyala and the other aliens moved with sudden urgency. Earth vessels approach, one announced. They have detected us and launched interceptors. They demand we return their citizen. Nathan gripped Lily's shoulders. We must leave Earth's orbit now or risk conflict. Are you certain this is what you want? Once we engage our main drive, there is no returning. Lily thought of her empty house, the lonely years, the life that held nothing for her without Nathan. She thought of the wonders she'd already seen in just these few minutes among the stars. I made my choice when I packed my bag. She said, I promised you for better or worse. Remember. Nathan smiled, squeezing her. Risiarka in hand, they moved together through the ship as it hummed with increasing energy. Nyala led them to what appeared to be a control center. A vast window showed Earth below, beautiful and blue. Among its stars, a small fleet of military spacecraft approached. Tiny compared to the alien vessel, but armed and determined. We can outrun them easily, Nyala assured them. But we must know your final decision. Lily Mason, will you leave your world to honor your vow? Lily looked at the planet below her birthplace, her home for 30 years now, seeming small and distant already. She looked at Nathan, the husband she had mourned, and now found again. She looked at Nyala and the other aliens beings who respected the human concept of marriage enough to risk bringing her here. Yes, she said simply. Yes, I will. Nyala made a gesture and the ship surged with power. Stars streaked past as they accelerated beyond anything human technology could achieve. Earth and its military vessels vanished behind them as the Starweaver entered a dimension beyond normal space. We will teach you everything, Nathan promised as they watched the universe transform around them. You will see worlds beyond imagination meet beings, with cultures older than human civilization. You will help build the bridge between Earth and the stars. Lily leaned against him, watching the cosmic display outside the window. Tomorrow she would begin learning about her new life, her new role in this vast civilization. But tonight, she simply marveled at how a promise made in a small church in Arizona had somehow led her across the galaxy. The vow she had made to Nathan had proven stronger than distance, stronger than time, stronger even than the boundaries between worlds. It had brought her to the stars. Lily woke in a chamber unlike any bedroom she had ever known. The walls pulsed with gentle bioluminescence, changing colors as she stirred. The bed, if it could be called that, conformed perfectly to her body, adjusting as she moved. A large window revealed not a planetary view but the streaming lights of faster-than-light travel as the Starweaver continued its journey through space. 6 months had passed since she left Earth. 6 months of intense learning, adapting, and transformation. She raised her hand, studying the delicate silver implant at her wrist. The neural interface had been her choice, allowing her to understand the many languages of the Galactic Federation and access the ship's vast knowledge archives. Without it, she would have been lost among so many alien species and complex technologies. Nathan entered their quarters, his face lighting up at the sight of her. The changes in him were more extensive, silver traces of implants visible at his temples and along his forearms, evidence of his longer time among the stars. Ready for today, he asked. The Council is eager to hear your perspective on the Earth contact proposal. Lily nodded, still, sometimes overwhelmed by the responsibility she carried. As the newest human ambassador, she provided crucial insights into how Earth might react to first official contact. The Federation had been monitoring humanity for centuries, but direct interaction remained limited to special cases like Nathan, and now her. They walked together, through the massive ship-passing beings of countless forms. Lily had learned not to stare at the floating crystalline entities from Proxima Centauri, or the amorphous colonies that communicated through color patterns. Her presence still drew attention, though humans remained a rarity among the thousands of species in the Federation. Yella met them outside the council chamber, her pearlescent skin shimmering under the ship's lights. The four-armed alien had become Lily's closest friend among the non-humans, teaching her the subtle cultural nuances that no neural implant could convey. The Federation members still debate. She informed them, sliding her hands through a complex gesture that Lily now recognized as expressing concern. They fear Earth's military response. Some wish to wait another century until your species matures further. Lily had heard these arguments before. Humanity was considered young, unpredictable, potentially dangerous. She followed Nyala and Nathan into the vast circular chamber where representatives from 50 worlds sat in ascending tiers. The architecture seemed designed to intimidate, with soaring columns and floating platforms, where delegates from low-gravity worlds hovered. Elder Jewel, a massive being with crystalline features, spoke first, his thoughts translated through Lily's implant. Earth remains volatile, divided, unpredictable. The latest assessment shows 17 active conflicts and developing weapons capable of planetary damage. We cannot risk exposure to such instability. Lily stepped forward, ignoring the whispers that rippled through the chamber. Since joining you, I have reviewed your historical records. She began. Many of your own civilizations passed through similar phases before achieving unity. Humanity needs guidance, not isolation. Several council members shifted uncomfortably. Her directness still surprised them. The Federation preferred consensus through lengthy debate, not bold statements. Ambassador Mason Jewel responded, your perspective is valued. But you and Ambassador Nathan represent outliers in human behavior. Your capacity for adaptation and understanding exceeds typical human parameters. This was an old argument. Nathan had faced it for years. Lily stood her ground. Her confidence, growing with each council session. With respect, she countered, you misunderstand human potential because you observe primarily our conflicts. Our art, music, literature, scientific curiosity, and capacity for growth remain undervalued in your assessments. I propose a new approach. The chamber quieted as she activated a holographic display projecting images of Earth families, embracing across cultural divides, medical teams working in disaster zones, children from different countries playing together, scientists collaborating across borders. These represent humanity as well. She stated, not just our wars and divisions. The Federation claims to value diversity, yet fears the very unpredictability that drives human innovation. Yala moved to stand beside Lily, her forearms forming the gesture of alliance. I support Ambassador Mason's assessment. My studies of human pair bonding, particularly their marriage concept, demonstrates capacity for commitment across differences. Nathan and Lily exemplify this quality. Their bond survived separation across interstellar space. Such loyalty should not be dismissed. The debate continued for hours. Federation policy changed slowly, deliberately, but Lily sensed the shifting attitudes. Her proposal, a limited cultural exchange program with selected Earth representatives, gained support from younger council members as the session ended. Nathan squeezed her hand with pride. You were magnificent, he whispered. They listened to you more. Each time. Lily smiled, though exhaustion weighed heavily. The neural implant drained her energy when used for extended periods. I'm learning their rhythms, she replied. Knowing when to push and when to wait, they returned to their quarters where Lily collapsed onto their conforming bed. The strain of constant adaptation took its toll despite her determination. Though the neural implants and subtle medical enhancements helped her survive in the alien environment, her body still struggled with the different gravity, atmospheric composition, and psychological challenges. Nathan sat beside her, concern evident in his eyes. 6 months of watching her fight to adapt had worried him. The ship's medical officers monitored her carefully, but humans had never lived long-term among the stars before. The few who had served as ambassadors previously had eventually returned to Earth. "You certain this path is right for you?" he asked softly. "I never wanted you to suffer for my sake." Lily reached for his hand, tracing the silver implants that marked his skin. "Do you remember our wedding day?" she asked. "The promise we made." Nathan nodded. "How could I forget? For better or worse," she quoted, "in sickness and health, wherever life takes us." That vow meant something to me. "Nathan, it still does. The difficulties now are the worst part, but the better will come." As if responding to her words, the ship's alert system activated. A gentle chime, followed by an announcement through their neural links. The Starweaver would arrive at Centauri Prime in 6 hours. Their first planet-side visit since leaving Earth. Nathan helped Lily up excitement, overcoming her fatigue. "The Federation homeworld," she whispered. "No human has ever set foot there." He smiled, matching her enthusiasm. "Only 2 ambassadors from Earth allowed to visit the heart of the Federation. We make history together, Lily, just as we always planned." Lily laughed, remembering their small dreams back on Earth. They had talked of traveling the world together, perhaps visiting exotic countries. Now they would walk on an alien world, see a different sun in the sky, breathe air touched by plants no human had ever seen. She moved to the window, watching the streaming lights of hyperspace travel. The universe had opened to her in ways she never imagined, all because she refused to believe Nathan was truly gone. All because she kept faith in the vows they shared. Nyala joined them later, bringing ceremonial clothing for their planet-side visit. "Tomorrow you represent not just yourselves, but all humanity," she explained, helping Lily with the intricate garments designed to honor Federation traditions while accommodating human physiology. "The Council may be cautious, but the citizens are curious. Many have requested audience with you." As Lily prepared for their arrival, she reflected on the journey that brought her here, from a small ranch house in Arizona to the heart of an interstellar civilization, from a grieving widow to a pioneer ambassador. All because she held on to a promise made years ago on Earth. The stars streaked past outside their window, carrying them toward new wonders. The vow that bound her to Nathan now bound her to something greater, a future where humanity might join the cosmic community, a future she would help create, one diplomatic mission at a time. Centauri Prime overwhelmed Lily's senses despite all her preparation. The twin suns created light that made colors appear richer, more vibrant than anything on Earth. The architecture soared, impossible structures that seemed to defy gravity, sweeping spires and floating platforms connected by bridges of light. The air carried scents both alien and strangely familiar, hints of something like cinnamon mixed with ozone and exotic blossoms. Most striking were the people. The diversity of sentient species gathered in the Federation capital dwarfed anything Lily had imagined during her training. Some moved on many legs, others floated above the ground. Some communicated through color changes or musical tones, while others used telepathy or complex hand gestures. All turned to watch the human ambassadors with undisguised curiosity. Nathan kept his hand on the small of Lily's back, guiding her through the central plaza, while Nyala walked ahead, clearing their path through the gathering crowd. The neural implant at Lily's wrist worked constantly, translating the cacophony of languages and thought patterns into something her human brain could comprehend. "So many," she whispered, overwhelmed by the attention. Staring, Nathan smiled, understanding her discomfort. "Remember, most have never seen a human except in educational materials. We are as exotic to them as they are to us." A small hovering being approached, its crystalline body refracting light into rainbow patterns. "May I exchange greeting patterns with the Earth ambassadors?" it requested, its thoughts translated directly into Lily's mind. Nyala nodded permission, and the being extended a tendril of light toward them. "This is Myrith," Nathan explained, a historian specializing in emerging civilizations. Lily extended her hand as she had been taught in her cultural training. The light tendril wrapped gently around her fingers, sending a pleasant tingling sensation up her arm. In her mind, images formed a greeting in the universal language of the Federation: welcome, respect, curiosity, peace. She sent back her own greeting, concentrating on projecting images of Earth forests, oceans, cities, and families. The neural implant amplified her thoughts, making the exchange possible. Despite months of practice, the mental communication still felt strange, intimate in ways verbal language never could. Myrith pulsed with blue light, a sign of pleasure. Your species shows remarkable adaptability. Many doubted humans could withstand direct telepathic exchange. Your brain patterns are chaotic but vibrant. Fascinating. More beings approached, each wanting to interact with the rare human visitors. Nathan had experienced this before during his early years as ambassador. But for Lily, it was new and exhausting. Each mental exchange drained her energy, requiring concentration beyond anything she'd needed on Earth. By the time they reached their assigned quarters in the diplomatic sector, Lily was barely standing. Nathan helped her to a resting platform that adjusted to support her human physiology. You did wonderfully, he assured her, kissing her forehead. The first day is always hardest. Your neural pathways are forming new connections, adapting to the telepathic field. Lily closed her eyes, trying to process everything she'd experienced. The capital city alone housed representatives from over 300 worlds, each with unique biologies, cultures, and perspectives. And this was just one planet in a federation that spanned thousands of star systems. Never imagined, she whispered. The scale of it all makes Earth seem so small, so isolated. Nathan sat beside her. We are isolated by choice, not circumstance. The Federation has watched Earth for centuries, waiting for humanity to mature enough for contact. The technology exists to reach us, we simply haven't developed enough as a species to be trusted with it. Lily thought about that, about the wars and conflicts that still plagued their homeworld, about the environmental damage and social divisions. The Federation's caution made sense, yet she felt defensive of her species too. We have potential, she argued. Think of how far we've come in such a short time compared to other species. The Federation records show most civilizations take twice as long to develop space travel as humans did. Nathan smiled. That pioneering spirit is exactly why they fear us. We advance quickly sometimes without fully understanding the consequences of our technologies. We take risks. Their conversation paused as a chime announced a visitor. Nyala entered, bringing with her a tall being with features that reminded Lily of ancient Egyptian art, elongated and elegant. This is Elder Ket, Nyala introduced. Her ancestors were among those who first visited Earth thousands of years ago. Lily stood despite her exhaustion, suddenly understanding why so many ancient human cultures shared similar architectural styles and mathematical concepts. The Federation's influence had been subtle but present throughout human development. Elder Ket bowed slightly. The Council has scheduled your formal presentation for tomorrow, she informed them. Her voice bypassed Lily's ears, resonating directly in her mind. The stakes are significant. Your assessment will influence Federation policy regarding Earth for the next century. Nathan nodded. We understand. When Ket departed, Nyala lingered, her four hands moving in patterns that expressed concern. They fear your argument for increased contact with Earth, she admitted. The dominant Council faction still believes humanity too volatile, too dangerous. I came to warn you, the opposition will challenge you strongly tomorrow. They will attempt to provoke emotional responses to demonstrate human unpredictability. After Nyala left, Lily paced their quarters, anxiety building. Despite 6 months of training, she felt unprepared for the responsibility. Tomorrow she would stand before representatives of 1,000 worlds and argue for humanity's place among them. If she failed, Earth might remain isolated for another century. Nathan watched her, understanding her fears. We should rest, he suggested. We face our greatest challenge tomorrow. But sleep eluded Lily. Her mind raced with arguments, counter-arguments, statistics, and examples she might use to convince the Council. She moved to the window, gazing out at the alien cityscape that stretched to the horizon under twin moons. Do you ever miss Earth? She asked suddenly. Nathan joined her at the window, wrapping his arms around her waist. Sometimes, he admitted. The simple things: rainfall, the smell of pine forests, baseball, the predictable rising of a single sun. Lily leaned back against him. Tomorrow we speak for all of them, everyone we left behind, everyone we miss, everyone who doesn't even know this exists yet. How can we possibly represent the entirety of human experience? Nathan turned her to face him. You remember what convinced the council to let me bring you here? She nodded. Our marriage vow. The concept fascinated them. It wasn't just the concept, Nathan said. It was that we kept it against impossible odds. You never remarried, never stopped believing I was alive somewhere. I never stopped fighting to return to you, or at least to reach you. That loyalty, that commitment to something beyond ourselves, that is what impressed them. That is what we represent tomorrow. Not just humanity, but the best of humanity. The next morning, they dressed in the formal attire provided by the Federation Diplomatic Corps. The garments combined Earth, formal wear with symbols of Federation membership. Nathan wore what resembled a suit with subtle modifications, glowing threads that shifted with his movements and communicated his status. Lily's dress similarly combined human fashion with alien elements. The council chamber dwarfed the one aboard the Starweaver. Thousands of representatives filled the tiered seating that spiraled upward in a vast dome. The architecture itself seemed alive, pulsing with light and energy that responded to the collective thoughts of those present. Elder Jules addressed them first. Today we consider the proposal of Ambassadors Nathan and Lily Mason regarding increased contact with Earth. Their argument that humanity is prepared for limited cultural exchange will be evaluated against our established criteria for emerging civilizations. Lily stepped forward, her neural implant translating her words into the universal telepathic field that all could understand. She spoke of human resilience, creativity, adaptability. She highlighted arts, scientific achievements, philosophical concepts unique to Earth. She presented evidence of growing global cooperation despite continuing conflicts. The questions came rapidly challenging, probing, testing her emotional control. How can a species that still wages war be trusted with advanced technology? How can beings who have not unified their own planet join a galactic community? What evidence exists that humans would not react with fear and violence to official contact? Lily answered each drawing on months of preparation and years of Nathan experience. The debate continued for hours as the council deliberated. Observers from dozens of worlds added their perspectives, some supporting Earth, others expressing caution. At last, Elder Ket rose, silencing the chamber with a gesture. We have witnessed the passion with which these human ambassadors defend their species, she announced. Such loyalty to one's origins is commendable, yet we must balance optimism with prudence. The council has reached consensus. Earth is not yet ready for full diplomatic relations. However, we approve a modified cultural exchange program. 5 human representatives will be selected to visit Federation worlds under strict protocols. Earth governments will not be officially informed, but preparation for eventual contact will accelerate. It was not the full recognition Lily had hoped for, but it represented progress. Nathan squeezed her hand, sensing her mixed emotions. 5 more humans would join them in the stars, 5 more bridges between worlds. 5 years passed since Lily first set foot on Centauri Prime. 5 years of diplomatic missions, cultural exchanges, and gradual acceptance among the Federation species. 5 years during which Earth remained largely unaware of the cosmic civilization that watched and waited. The 5 additional human ambassadors had joined them, carefully selected individuals whose disappearances were explained away as accidents or voluntary withdrawals from society. Today marked a historic moment as the Starweaver approached Earth orbit for the first time since Lily left her home planet. She stood at the observation window, watching the blue marble grow larger. Nathan beside her, both dressed in Federation diplomatic attire that marked them as official representatives. It feels strange coming back, she whispered. Part of me never expected to see Earth again. Nathan took her hand, the neural implants at their wrists, connecting their thoughts, allowing them to share memories and emotions without words. A technology that had once seemed alien now felt as natural as breathing. The silver traces along their skin had expanded over the years, marking the gradual integration of Federation biotechnology with their human bodies. Elder Ket joined them at the window, her tall, elegant form moving with characteristic grace. "The Council awaits your signal," she reminded them. "This mission carries unprecedented risk." Lily nodded, understanding the stakes. After years of debate, the Federation had approved limited official contact, not with Earth governments, but with a carefully selected group of human scientists, artists, and philosophers, people whose minds might comprehend the reality of galactic civilization without panic or political manipulation. The Starweaver would remain cloaked in high orbit, detectable only by the most advanced human instruments, which would register it merely as an anomaly. Lily, Nathan, and 2 additional ambassadors would descend to the surface for the historic meeting. "Are you ready?" Nathan asked, knowing how this homecoming affected his wife. Lily took a deep breath. The neural enhancements helped regulate her emotions, but returning to Earth after years among the stars stirred deep feelings she couldn't entirely suppress. "Will they understand what we've become?" She wondered, are we even fully human anymore? The changes were subtle but significant. The silver neural pathways visible beneath their skin, the slightly altered metabolism that allowed them to process Federation food, the cognitive enhancements that let them communicate telepathically with non-human species, the cellular modifications that protected them from alien microbes and radiation. Nathan understood her concern. "We look human," he reassured her. "We are human, just adapted like explorers throughout history, who adopted new ways to survive in new environments." The transport vessel awaited them in the launch bay, smaller than the massive Starweaver, but still impressive by Earth standards. It would carry them to the remote mountain location, where the first official human contact group waited, unaware of exactly who or what they would be meeting. Nyala would accompany them, her appearance modified to seem less alien at first glance. A necessary precaution to avoid shocking the contact group. The other ambassador, Karn from the methane worlds, would remain in orbit, his physiology too different for Earth conditions. The descent through Earth's atmosphere stirred memories for Lily. The changing colors were pressure, the unique sensation of planetary gravity pulling stronger than the artificial gravity fields of Federation vessels. The ship landed precisely in a mountain clearing surrounded by pine forest, far from population centers but accessible to the selected humans who had been summoned through carefully orchestrated invitations. Through the view screen, Lily saw them waiting. A group of 20 humans standing beside vehicles, looking nervously at the sky. She recognized some faces from the extensive research: a renowned physicist, a celebrated composer, a philosopher, whose writings on cosmic ethics had impressed even the Federation Council. They had been told only that they were chosen for a historic meeting that would change human understanding. "How do we begin?" Nathan asked, his voice carrying the weight of responsibility. Lily straightened her shoulders, feeling the mantle of her position as ambassador. "We begin with truth," she said, simply and directly, "as we would want to be told." The ship's ramp lowered, allowing Earth air to enter the chamber. The scent of pine trees, rainfall, and soil hit Lily with unexpected emotional force. 5 years among the sterile environments of spacecraft and alien worlds had not prepared her for the sensory impact of her home planet. Nathan went first, followed by Lily and Nyala. They walked slowly, deliberately down the ramp toward the waiting humans who stood frozen in astonishment. The neural implants translated the whispers passing through the group. "My God, they're human. Are they aliens? They look like us." "The ship, it's impossible technology." Lily raised her hand in greeting, the silver neural pathways visible along her arm catching sunlight. "I am Ambassador Lily Mason," she announced, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "This is Ambassador Nathan Mason. We were born on Earth in Arizona. We have returned from the stars with representatives of the Galactic Federation." The physicist stepped forward, his scientific curiosity overcoming fear. "Are you truly human?" he asked, eyes fixed on the silver implants visible at their temples. "We were born human," Nathan replied. "We have been modified to survive among other worlds, other species, but we remain human in all essential ways." Another stepped forward. a woman with striking white hair and penetrating eyes the philosopher Lily had studied. "What do you want from us?" she demanded. "Why reveal yourselves now after clearly observing us for some time?" "A fair question," Lily acknowledged. "We represent a civilization of thousands of worlds united in peaceful cooperation. Earth remains isolated not through distance, but through development. Your civilization approaches a critical juncture. You will either destroy yourselves through conflict and environmental collapse or achieve the unity needed to join the greater community. We are here to offer a third path." Guidance hours passed as the initial shock gave way to questions upon questions. The human delegation moved from disbelief to wonder, to practical concerns. The neural implants helped Lily and Nathan explain complex concepts while Nyala demonstrated technologies beyond human development. As night fell, they gathered around heating units provided by the ship. The stars appeared overhead, familiar constellations that now held new meaning for the Earth scientists who learned that many hosted inhabited worlds. One of them, a young astronomer, looked up at Lily, tears in his eyes. "All my life, I've searched the stars, hoping we weren't alone. And now I learn that we're part of something so vast, so diverse. It's overwhelming." Lily understood better than anyone. "How will your group present this to humanity?" she asked. The question that had dominated Federation debate for decades. The philosopher spoke for them. "We won't, not directly. The 20 of us will form a network spreading knowledge gradually through academic papers, artistic works, philosophical treatises. We will prepare humanity for the truth, without causing panic or political weaponization. It may take a generation, but when official contact comes, humanity will be ready." Nathan nodded approval. This was precisely the approach he and Lily had advocated before the Federation Council. A gentle awakening rather than a shocking revelation. As the meeting continued through the night, Lily found herself drawn to the edge of the clearing, looking up at the stars visible through breaks in the clouds. Somewhere up there, the Star Weaver orbited, carrying representatives from dozens of worlds. All watching this first contact unfold, Nyala joined, her forearms moving in the gesture pattern that expressed contemplation. "Your species surprises us still," she admitted. "I expected more fear, more resistance." Lily smiled. "You chose them well. People who devoted their lives to expanding human understanding. People with minds open to possibility." The neural connection between them allowed Nyala to sense Lily's deeper emotions. "Your home still calls to you," she observed. "Yes," Lily acknowledged, "but not as it once did. Earth will always be where I began. But my place is among the stars now, with Nathan." With the Federation, dawn approached, bringing with it the conclusion of this historic meeting. The human delegation would return to their lives forever. Changed, carrying knowledge few on Earth possessed, Nathan and Lily would return to the Star Weaver, continuing their work as bridges between worlds. As they prepared to depart, one of the humans approached Lily, a musician whose compositions had moved her even aboard the Star Weaver. "What sustained you?" she asked quietly. "How did you adapt to leaving everything behind?" Lily considered the question, thinking of the years since Nyala first appeared in her yard, the wonders she had witnessed, the challenges she had overcome. "A promise," she answered simply. "A vow made before I knew the stars were populated, before I understood the true scale of the universe. A promise to love, to remain faithful across any distance. That vow brought me to the stars. That vow sustained me when adaptation seemed impossible." The musician nodded, understanding perhaps better than most creative minds often grasped concepts others struggled with. The power of commitment transcending space itself. As they boarded the ship for departure, Lily took one last look at Earth, the sun rising over the mountains, casting golden light across the forests. She felt Nathan beside her, his thoughts joining hers through their neural connection.